Hey everyone, it's Carrie from Next Time Craft Studio. I'm hanging out in the dark with this little candle because it represents the theme for this month. It's the beginning of October and the days are getting shorter and it's getting darker so much earlier here. So I thought, why not light up the night a little bit with some glow in the dark? Are you ready? Who wouldn't want a glow-in-the-dark dinosaur terrarium? We're gonna make one of these little guys glow blue. In order to make this work well, I got some very concentrated glow-in-the-dark paint online from Space Beams, and this one, their blue one, is called Aquarius. Just after I started painting, I paused for a moment and thought, do I need an undercoat, like a color for it to go on top of? But I was already painting and I realized I'm just gonna have to do a couple of coats. Plus, like a white dino that glowed would be kind of weird. The original color it was probably better anyway. And here's how it looks after I charged it under a lamp for a bit. This looks really cool. I highly recommend this paint. And now for building the terrarium part. I'm going to fill the bottom with a little bit of lava rock for drainage, and then I'll put a layer of dirt, and then I'll put the moss on top of that. I'm just using a secondhand glass old style candy dish that I found, and these work perfect for terrariums and they're much cheaper than brand new ones in the store. I love adding some rocks and gemstones from my collection to terrariums. What's nice is that you can add anything from your yard as well, like little sticks to make trees, or some bark and things as well to give it a natural look. I've changed it up a little bit at the end here and I added a real small tropical plant to add in there because I thought the moss just wasn't enough. What do you think? And now for some little beaded plant buddies. I'll be using some blue and green glass glow-in-the-dark beads for this project. So you can see I have a spool of inexpensive steel wire in about 16 gauge to complete these. For tools, you'll need some very strong wire cutters in order to cut the steel. If you use wire cutters that aren't suitable, you might damage them. And you'll also need a round nose plier. In order to stop the beads from falling off the other end, I'm using the round nose plier to make a little loop, and I'm putting about 3 inches worth of beads to make this spiral shape that I'm doing here. And in order to prevent them from falling off the other direction, you make another loop at the bottom, a very small one with the round nose pliers again. And there needs to be enough steel left at the end for that part to be able to go into the dirt of the plant pot. I charged them up under a lamplight, and look at how amazing these glow in the dark. And here they are keeping one of my plants company. Aren't they cute? And now we're going to change up a little concrete toad. I got this little guy from a secondhand store and figured he needed a little bit of an update. So I'm using Rustoleum chalked spray paint in Tate green. So after I let this dry the first time, I did do a whole other coat to hit the other spots that I missed the first time. I accidentally skipped over the footage of this, but I switched over to the spray paint by Rustoleum in the green glow. And look at how amazing he is. He glows so brightly even before I shut the door to have complete darkness. I finished him off with the clear coat spray from Rustoleum so that he can be outside and the rain won't wash any of the paint off. Now for a little sun catcher that glows when the sun goes down. I found a whole batch of different wood-shaped animals and other things at the secondhand store, and this seahorse looked like it needed to be made into something that glows. In order for it to hang, I need to drill a couple of small holes, so I'm marking with a pencil, and then I'm using a tiny drill bit in my hand piece from Fordham to drill a hole through. After this, I gave all the edges a good sanding. And now for some paint. This is the Folkart Chalked Grotto color. I painted both sides and let it dry overnight. I'm using more of the paint that I used at the beginning of the video to do the dinosaur. I'm just painting all the way around the edge on both sides and adding a little eye spot and a couple little belly stripes. I'm attaching the Suncatcher crystals with a few large, strong steel jump rings that I am opening and closing using chain nose pliers. Chain nose pliers are specially made for accessory and jewelry making because they don't have the markings on them like the needle nose pliers, which can damage the metal. I realized I forgot to put a sealer on, so before I continue attaching everything, I'm just going to seal this up with the Rustoleum Clear mat. Now we're ready to attach the rest of the bits and baubles. So we have some green raw Aventurine beads that I'm adding just above the Suncatcher crystals, and then I am putting a ombre color tassel at the very bottom, and to finish off the top I'm attaching a long piece of chain and a hoop for hanging in the window. Oh, I almost forgot, there's a couple of really neat lava beads that are coated in metal as well, so those are the bright silver beads you'll see in there. So seahorses don't actually glow in the dark, but they do fluoresce under blue light, and they can glow even red with green eyes. It's pretty cool. I'll put the link to a video down below so you can see exactly what that looks like. And here's the finished Suncatcher in the window in my kitchen. Pardon all the apples outside. I still have to get out there to clean them all up. I think project number 5, Glow Moon Ring Dish, is my favorite one. I took a clear, small vintage candle holder and I glued it upside down on top of a milk glass dish. I want to add this little resin moon to the top and the middle, and around on the inside I want to add all of these little green rhinestones. I'm using a toothpick to apply the glue where I need it, and then I'm using a wax tip rhinestone picker so that I can put the rhinestones down where I need to put them. After I let that all dry for at least 24 hours, now it's time for resin. I'm really excited. I've only done a few resin projects in the past, and this one is gonna be great. I'm picking out which mica colors I want to mix, and I think I want a little bit of a green, a blue, and a white together, and then I'm going to mix some really nice green glow powder into here as well. So I'm mixing equal parts hardener and equal parts resin in a little silicone cup. It makes it really easy to let it dry and peel it out of the silicone cup afterwards, and I can keep reusing it over and over again. And I'll mix it all together with a little wood toothpick. These colors mixed together worked out really nicely. It matches the color of the moon. After pouring it into the base, I realized I didn't have anywhere near enough product to fill in the bottom like I wanted to, so I made another batch. Now I'm adding some genuine pyrite chips into the resin. It'll kind of sink to the bottom, but it'll add a little bit of shine and dimension. For the top part to go around the moon, I've just mixed up pure glow powder into the mix. Now for the reveal. Dun dun dun! Oh my goodness, look at how green and bright that is. I'll put the name of the brand of glow powder I use in the video description. And here it is staged with a few jewelry items. Let me know what you guys think of this. And now for the last item, the Octopus Art. This is the vintage art and frame that I'll be working with. So I'm just removing the screws in the back with a screwdriver so that I can get at the art inside. And because it's damaged, but the back side is just fine, I'm just gonna flip it over and paint it. Actually, apparently I'm just going to paint the front of it. I think I liked the little bit of texture that it had on the front of it, and I wanted to keep that. I'm trying the crackle method using Elmer's glue, where you put the glue on, you put it across, and then you apply the other color that you want on top to get the crackle effect. The dark blue background is the Folkart chalk paint in nautical blue, and the coating over top is the castle color. It didn't quite turn out how I wanted with the crackle, but that's okay. We're covering up this whole thing basically with this really awesome octopus stencil. I'm making sure this sticky stencil is very well on there, otherwise it won't work properly. It'll bleed through, and I'm using a sponge brush and a metallic silver paint. And here's what it looks like after I remove the stencil. So I put the stencil back on the paper that it came on so I can use it again. And yeah, you can see the outline in silver, but I don't think it's strong enough. So I'm going to take a art acrylic marker in bright metallic silver and do the outline. This will take me a little bit, so we'll speed up the process here. There, that looks a lot better. I unfortunately didn't get any footage of me painting with the glow paint, but I used the same one as the two earlier projects, and I'll share that brand again in the description. Okay, this is going to be like a cool magic trick, and we're going to watch this octopus appear out of the darkness. Isn't she beautiful? She was glowing so brightly you could even see it a little bit in the daytime. I hope you liked the theme of the video this week. It was definitely one of my favorites. As always, here's a little sneak peek for a future video. If you like my content, please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell notification to get notified of future videos. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.